Well, everybody, one of my favorite YouTubers, Brennan Herera, was running for Congress here in Texas. I'm sure anyone who follows the 2A community on YouTube was already well aware of this. But to those of you who do not pay attention to Texas politics or to gun rights stuff here on YouTube, let me fill you in. Brennan Herera was a gun YouTuber known as the AK Guy who challenged Tony Gonzalas for his congressional seat in, I don't remember what district it was, but it's basically the one out there in El Paso. And yeah, that political election finally came to an end just like a week ago. And yeah, we're going to get into it here. So Representative Tony Gonzalas, who slammed scumbag Republican hardliners, survives Texas GOP primary challenge from a YouTuber. Representative Tony Gonzalas narrowly avoided defeat Tuesday after fending off a YouTuber influencer in the Texas Republican primary runoff election. The future of America remains as bright as ever, Gonzalas wrote on X after his projected victory in the Texas 23rd Congressional District primary race. Thank you, Texas 23, for continuing to place your faith in me. Gonzalas was projected to beat Brennan Herera, a digital content creator known as the AK Guy, by less than 500 votes. The 48-year incumbent received 50.7% of the vote to Herrera's 49.3% in a sprawling 800-mile-long district along the Texas-Mexico border. We did an amazing thing, Herera wrote on X. We looked down the biggest guns of DC establishment in the tune of probably over 10 million and told them they didn't own us. Yeah, that's right. Brennan Herera lost by less than 500 votes. I think when you do the math, it's just a little over 400 votes that he lost by. So, you know, it is a very, very close race. The percentage of margin of win by Tony Gonzalas was barely 1%. Not only that, as Herera stated, Tony Gonzalas also spent over $10 million in advertising. And yeah, it's kind of funny that that's all that got him, was barely a 1% victory over Brennan Herera, who was never a politician and only decided to be a politician this last election cycle. Moving on. We made them fight for their lives, he added. Former President Donald Trump did not endorse either candidate. Herera, who argued the former president couldn't win in a general election and mocked former first son Barron Trump during February 10th podcast, received endorsements from House Freedom Caucus members Bob Good, Virginia, and Eli Crane, Arizona, as well as Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida. Gonzalas was backed by Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott and House Speaker Mike Johnson, Louisiana, who attended a fundraiser in their incumbent days after Gonzalas trashed GOP hardliners in Congress as quote-unquote real scumbags. Gonzalas easily topped Herera in the March 5th Texas GOP primary, but failed to reach the 50% threshold needed to avoid Tuesday's runoff. He will face Democrat Santos Lemon in the November 5th general election in the House seat in traditionally moderate district. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is the power of somebody in the community just deciding, hey, you know what? Like, I'm tired of this person who is my congressman voting against gun rights everywhere. So screw it, man. I'm going to run for Congress. And dude, he almost won. I bet next election, if he runs again, Brandon Herera is probably going to win. You know, if I lived over there in that district, I would have voted for him. But unfortunately, Houston is not in that district. Yeah, I was real excited when Herera ran. I thought he was going to win. Although, you know, I'm still happy with even the fact that he lost, but barely, basically, by less than 1%, pretty much. And not only that, if you enjoy just like gun content on YouTube, I highly recommend checking out Brandon Herera. He does some pretty great stuff, and he just very recently finished the AK-50. So I think he's now doing like finalizing the testing before he does production of it. But yeah, why don't you hop down in the comments down below and let me know what you think about Brandon Herera versus Tony Gonzalas and what your opinions were on that whole political race. Doesn't matter if you don't even live here in Texas. I still want to hear what you have to say about that, because I'm interested to hear what people have to think about, just local people just, rising up and being like, no, like we're going to fight the corruption here in our local community and boot these people out. And while you're down there, make sure you leave a like on this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well, and follow me on the Big Mean Green YouTube as well.